Welcome to the deep dive. Ready to explore what it means to be human?
Sounds deep.
It is, but not in the usual way. We're diving into Joseph Aminian's essay, and it's a unique blend. We've got personal stories mixed with ancient figures like Abraham.
And a dash of science thrown in for good measure.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's exploring laughter, spirituality, storytelling, and how they all connect to the human experience. Get ready, because this one's going to make you think.
What I find fascinating is how he takes these seemingly random elements, right? And then, boom, he weaves them into this framework for understanding ourselves. It's not just about telling us what to think, more like guiding us on this journey of self-discovery.
I like that, a journey. Okay, so let's start with this idea that laughter was a game changer for early humans. Aminian suggests that our ancestors' ability to laugh at themselves, to admit they didn't know everything, was a huge step in our evolution.
He argues that this self-awareness, which he suggests might have even been sparked by the fear of death, actually led to a deeper understanding of the world and our place in it.
Makes sense. When you can laugh at yourself, you can step back and see things from a different perspective. Maybe even find solutions where others wouldn't. But how does laughter tie into spirituality? That's where I get a little lost.
Well, hold on tight, because Aminian introduces this idea of the madness of the mystic.
Okay, madness.
It's not literal madness. Think of it more as a state of being detached from the ego, leading to a sort of profound inner peace and this heightened awareness.
So kind of like those moments when you're so absorbed in something that everything else just fades away.
Exactly. It's achieving that flow state where we, in a sense, transcend our limitations and tap into something bigger than ourselves.
Okay, I'm starting to see how the pieces fit together. But then Aminian brings in the story of Abraham, the one who, smashed all those idols to wake up his community.
Yeah, a pretty bold move. Yeah. Aminian uses it to highlight the importance of challenging conventional thinking. Abraham was a disruptor. He broke free from those norms and dared to question everything.
And that act of, shaking things up is where storytelling comes in, right?
Absolutely. Aminian argues that storytelling, from those early cave paintings to epic narratives like Gilgamesh, became our way of transmitting knowledge, exploring what it means to be human, the whole shebang. It shapes how we see the world.
So even the stories we tell ourselves, those inner narratives, they actually shape our reality. If we keep replaying those negative stories in our heads, it's going to affect everything.
Yeah.
But if we learn to flip the script to find the positive, we can actually change our experience. It's like cognitive reprogramming or something.
And you know what? The U.S. Army's Psychological Operations Manual, which we have as a source here, actually acknowledges this power of narrative, talks about using storytelling to influence behavior and achieve goals. It's wild.
So we're not just passively listening to stories. We're active participants in creating them. That's pretty powerful stuff.
It is. And you know what's next? That's right, holistic health. This is where things get really interesting.
He's all about that idea that our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being are all intertwined. You can't have one without the others. It's all connected.
And he even digs into the gut-brain axis, highlighting the importance of a healthy microbiome for, pretty much everything. Mental clarity, overall well-being. The research on this is exploding right now.
It's mind-blowing to think that something as tiny as gut bacteria can have such a huge impact on how we think and feel.
And what's really cool is how Aminian's personal story and, his lineage have shaped his perspective on this whole holistic health thing. He talks about his ancestors and their deep connection to nature, their understanding of how everything's connected. It's not just some theory for him, it's in his blood, you could say. So we've got laughter, we've got this madness, we've got challenging norms, and storytelling. Where does Aminian take us from here?
Right, it's where do we even go from there?
Well, buckle up, because he connects these ancient ideas to our modern world. And let me tell you, it's a connection we all feel.
I'm all ears. Lay it on me.
Think about it. Information overload, pressure to succeed, constantly seeking validation. It's exhausting.
Preach. It's like we're always on, never really present. And that makes it tough to hear that inner voice, the one that knows what's truly best for us.
And Aminian gets that. He talks about stress, anxiety, the whole deal. He even emphasizes the importance of getting professional help if you need it. It's refreshing, really, like someone finally gets it.
It's okay to not be okay, right?
Right.
Asking for help is a strength, not a weakness.
Exactly. And here's where that idea of unity comes in. Remember how we talked about us being connected? Well, he introduces these, maybe a bit complex at first, concepts of yechida and vadat vajud.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are some new ones for me.
Basically, it boils down to this idea that we're all interconnected. We're part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Okay, I like that.
Yep.
Less intimidating that way.
Think of it like a giant tapestry, right? Each thread is an individual, unique, but ultimately connected to every other thread to create this amazing, intricate whole that's Yechida and Vadat Vojud. The understanding that our individual journeys, they're all intertwined, part of this bigger picture.
Wow, that's actually beautiful. It's like we're not alone in our struggles. There's comfort in knowing we're all part of this, like this web of life.
Exactly. Recognizing that can give us strength and resilience when things get tough.
And this leads to Aminian's emphasis on humility, right? Being open to others, not labeling people, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. He's all about acknowledging our limitations and approaching others with an open mind, without judgment. Like, everyone's on their own journey, you know? We all have our own stories.
So important, especially now. It's so easy to get caught up in judgment and division. Aminian's calling for us to see beyond the surface, to recognize our shared humanity.
He wants us to see life as this continuous journey of self-discovery. Embrace our vulnerabilities and recognize we can all learn from each other.
It reminds me of that quote, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about." So powerful.
And that brings us to one of the most important takeaways from Aminian, I think. The idea that the answers we're looking for, they're often within us.
We spend so much time looking outside ourselves for answers, validation. But Aminian's saying, hey, you already have the wisdom you need. Learn to listen to yourself.
Trust your gut, that inner compass. Have the courage to follow your own path.
Easier said than done.
He never said it would be easy. There will be challenges, moments of doubt, but that journey, the process of self-discovery, that's where the real growth happens.
So we have this inner wisdom, but how do we actually access? It's like, how do we tune out all the noise and really hear what our intuition's trying to tell us?
That's the question, isn't it? And Aminian gives us some clues. Remember that gut-brain connection? Well, he suggests our bodies are always talking to us, sending us signals. It's just we're not always listening.
So like those butterflies when you're nervous, or that gut feeling something's off.
Exactly. Those are often our intuition trying to get through, but we tend to brush them aside as just emotions.
Sure. So we got to learn to pay attention to those whispers of intuition. They might be leading us in the right direction.
He asks this powerful question. If our bodies are constantly communicating, what messages are we missing? And how can we become better listeners? It's like a challenge, you know, to really tune in.
It's like he's saying, hey, the answers are already inside you. Trust yourself. Listen to what your body, your mind, your spirit are telling you.
And it's not just about us as individuals. Remember, Aminian's big on this interconnectedness thing. So when we tap into our own wisdom, it ripples outward.
Like when we're true to ourselves, it inspires others to do the same. Positive vibes all around.
Exactly. And that's what's so powerful about Aminian's work. It's not just theory. It's like a roadmap to a more fulfilling, more meaningful life. It's about embracing who we are, laughing at our quirks, challenging our limits, and trusting that inner wisdom.
This deep dive has been a wild ride. We've covered so much. Laughter, madness of the mystic, Abraham smashing idols, the power of stories, gut bacteria, and like cosmic unity. Wow.
It's been a journey for sure. We've gone deep into what it means to be human, explored all these different facets, and even though the world can feel pretty overwhelming at times, Aminian reminds us we have this power to make things better, in ourselves and for everyone around us.
He definitely leaves us with this sense of hope, encourages us to keep on this journey of self-discovery. So as you go about your day, remember, listen to your body, trust your gut, have the courage to follow your own path.
And never stop exploring. We hope this deep dive has inspired you to connect with that inner wisdom and to embrace that beautiful web that connects us all. Thanks for joining us.